Hello and welcome to another English lesson. My name is Davor Černi and this lesson is called Meat and Environment. The lesson is intended for third grade high school students. So let's get ready. Get yourself a notebook, a pen or a pencil, or you can even get your PC or tablet ready. Here are some links that we are going to use in this lesson. So what are we going to do in these lessons? We'll do a little survey, we'll do some vocabulary work, we'll do some research, read a text for a main idea or details, and we will try to raise awareness. So the title of the unit is Meat and Environment. So what are we going to talk about? So, have you ever seen this symbol? You recognize the chemical formula here, the CO2. This is the formula for carbon dioxide. So this is something we call carbon footprint. From the environmental point of view, someone's carbon footprint is a measurement of the amount of carbon dioxide that their activities produce. For example, we have partnered with nearby farms hoping to reduce the carbon footprint of our delivery trucks. If you want to learn more about this, you can visit the carbon footprint website following the given link. Also, on this site, there is a carbon calculator. You have a bit.ly link here, and you can see the last page where you can get your results. So, what you can do is go to this carbon calculator and try to calculate how much carbon dioxide you produce. We all know that carbon dioxide is important in the Earth's atmosphere. It actually prevents the Earth from cooling down too much. But of course, if there is too much carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, the Earth doesn't cool enough and we get the greenhouse effect. That is one of the problems. The next thing that we will take a look at is nitrogen. Why a nitrogen footprint? Because reactive nitrogen is vital to human life. It is necessary for food production and it is also a byproduct of energy consumption. Too much reactive nitrogen in the environment causes a cascade of environmental problems that negatively affect human health, in addition to the environment. So like the carbon dioxide, nitrogen or reactive nitrogen is also important in our lives, but if there is too much of nitrogen in the world, it can cause environmental problems. So, regarding both of these two footprints, small changes in lifestyle choices can have a big effect both on your nitrogen and your carbon footprint, and this will also reflect on your impact on the environment. So we always kind of have to think about to start from ourselves, what we can do to change things. Here is also a link to the nitrogen website. And on this website, you will also find a nitrogen footprint calculator. You can use the link to access this calculator. Of course, at the moment, you cannot choose Croatia as a country. You have to decide. You can only do this for the United States. But later on, it will give you an opportunity to choose the country where you live, and you will get some results. So to conclude this story, the production of the meat itself, which today varies from grass-fed to free-range, up to the industry and mass production of meat or meat byproducts. So regardless of the way we produce this meat, the bigger problem lays in its usage. And somehow we have started overusing meat. And if we consider this and try to change our eating habits, we can indirectly affect the meat production, which will then indirectly impact the production of nitrogen and carbon dioxide. If you do the calculations and calculate your carbon and nitrogen footprint, here is a Padlet for you. The link is above and the QR code is next to it, which you can use to leave your results from the carbon and nitrogen calculations on this Padlet. Let's move on. Let's do a little survey. If you want to do the survey online, here is the link. But I'll show you the survey, the questions, which you can do in your notebooks right now. So, meat and environment. A short survey. How often do you eat meat? Choose one answer. Is it every meal? Is it just every day? Several times a week? Or never? The next question, please tell us what kind of meat do you eat most often? So is it chicken, beef, turkey, whatever. Then we have a little scale question. The question is, why do some people become vegetarians? I'm not telling you that you should become a vegetarian, but can you please think about these reasons why people become or might have become vegetarian? So is it they feel the meat is expensive? They think vegetarian food is healthier? They are worried about animals, or they are worried about the environment? So the one you think is the most important reason, put number 1, and the one you think is the least important reason, put number 4. If you want, you can explain your ideas. Why did you put your answers in such an order? And the last question that we have on this survey, in August 2019, a United Nations climate change report asked people to think about how much meat they were eating. So what do you think the United Nations report said about eating meat? Please, you can type in your answer here. So, United Nations. There is a page, United Nations Climate Action, where all the ideas are put into one place. Here is the link to this website. You can explore and research. And to sum up, what are some of the ideas United Nations put in their 2019 report? What we eat has major implications for climate change. The destruction of rainforests to create land for agriculture, along with growing demand for meat, are major contributors to the increasing greenhouse gases, which are taking a significant toll on climate and global food security. So we can conclude that the United Nations have recognized the problem and are suggesting ways to deal with this problem. Let us watch a video now that you can find on this link, which explores the problem further.
Use of animals for food is the biggest environmental problem. Forget about power plants. That's not even close. But it's also fun to have a worthy opponent. There is absolutely no scenario for preventing catastrophic climate change without a vast reduction in the scale of animal agriculture.
The statistic that really comes to mind for me is this 80% of agricultural land in the United States being devoted either through grazing or through growing feed to feeding animals that are then slaughtered and converted into meat.
If you could snap your fingers and just vaporize that industry, which I would do in a heartbeat if I could, the recovery of plant biomass on that land would actually start to lower atmospheric CO2 concentrations, something people don't even contemplate as a possibility.
And welcome back. A very powerful message from this short film, wouldn't you agree? And if you want to learn more about the actions UN is making on the climate problems, visit the website and explore freely. And to conclude today's unit, here is a little project work for you. Use the short survey we did previously, just the first 2 questions. Here is the link to the survey. And ask your parents, grandparents, or anyone older in your family, how much meat did they eat when they were your age? Use this information to write a short report on the eating habits in your family in the past and compare them to your eating habits now. The report should be 100 to 250 words, and please send your reports to your teachers to check. Once again, I would like to thank you for your attention and hope we will see each other next time. Bye.